to the Cannons and Tomahawks podcast, presented by Belly Up Sports. All things hockey, all the time. And now, here are your hosts, two washed-up beer leaguers who have no idea what they're talking about, Zach Martin and Alex Nuttall.
What's going on, everybody? We are back with another Blue Jackets and Blackhawks segment of Cannons and Tomahawks podcast presented by Belly Up Sports. I am Alex. That's Zach. We are also joined by Andrew from the Short Shift Pod. Andrew, what's going on, man?
Not too much. Doing pretty good. All things considering my team just lost to the fucking Sabres.
I mean, hey, my team's currently losing to the Predators, so don't feel.
My team was down 5-1.
Hey, at least my team is eliminated from playoff contention, so I can laugh at anybody I want. So
actually, we all can laugh at you because your team sucks.
That's fine. Yep. So while we're talking about that, I'm going to go ahead. And do a quick recap of the Blue Jackets. We've lost 8 in a row. We are horrendous.
What is it like? What is it? 2-14-2 or some trash like that? Like. I guess my prediction of you guys finishing last wasn't that much of a hot take because it pretty much happened. I spoke into existence.
Yeah.
Thanks. You are welcome.
Appreciate that, jackass.
I bet every Columbus Blue Jackets fan is probably going to come after me now saying, thanks, Zach. You absolutely screwed us. And I'm like,
oh, you mean all 4 of them?
Yeah, most of them left with Foligno and Savard.
No.
Oof. Anyways.
What universe is David Savard for a 4th or first round pick? Can you please explain that to me? Because I can't find a reason.
2021 of a static salary cap.
Oh, right. Good. Thank you.
And Yarmo knows how to just mesmerize people into doing it just because.
Dude, Yarmo
is a fucking assassin. I love that guy.
Yarmo has the most glorious sack in the entire league.
I can imagine in trade negotiations. The guy walks into the room, puts his nuts on the table, and is like,
and everyone's like, "Hey, dude, that's fine. Here, give me $5, and I will give you Patrick Kane. I will. You know what? I'm going to retain 98% of his salary too. Okay, cool. All right, sweet. No, dude, it's the stuff that he can pull off is insane. Absolutely insane. That's why I'm interested to see what's going to happen this offseason with coaching because it's. There's multiple stories going around now, and everyone's making it very clear at this point that Torts will not return, and I don't want him here anymore. I am very happy for what
now,
he's
or
done.
do you just let him play the string?
He should be gone now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He should have been gone earlier in the season, but
they're doing this. Left like.
Well,
how many games have been left? Like 7, 8, something like that?
Something like that. It's one of those things that, I think they're trying to let him finish on a good term, which is respectable for what he's done for the franchise.
What good term? You guys have won 2 games in the last 20.
Okay, but where were we in 2008, 2009, 10, 11, 12, till 2000?
You guys had Steve Mason, and that was it.
Yeah.
Did anyone outside of Columbus care where you guys were at that point?
No, that's the thing. And the one time we made it to the playoffs, we got railed by the freaking Red Wings in a 4-game sweep.
And Pittsburgh. Don't forget about Pittsburgh.
Well, no, I'm talking before all the Torts and Yarmo era. Nobody cared. And then Yarmo comes in, and he brings in Torts, and Torts makes us a playoff team like every season. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, now we're back to 2006, and we're trying to cup his balls and say, "Hey, we're going to let you finish the season on a good term."
Yeah. And for the fact that you guys are dead last in the division that has the Detroit Red Wings, and you're going for a lottery pick, and everyone picks you to finish at least a playoff team in the top 4 of the division, and now you're going for a lottery pick.
Well,
yikes.
The biggest thing, our defensive play hasn't been good this year, but dude, we don't have anyone up the middle. The one guy we had
center right now.
I don't know.
Isn't Roslovic your guys' top center now?
Changes every game.
It's it's Roslovic one game. The next game, it's
because one game our number 1 center will play and he plays great, and the next game our number 1 center is scratched. Or I don't know, dude. Honestly, at this point, our number 1 center might as well be Fucking Elvis Merzlikins.
A sack of potatoes?
No, dude, Elvis or Corpy at this point should be our number one center.
The reanimated corpse of Nikolai Zherdev?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, and the guy that near center that you did have, currently on a team that's going to make the playoffs as possibly the 3 seed or the 2nd seed in the Winnipeg Jets.
To be fair, he went over there and he's rocking 3rd center. So that's for him. He went into great.
He went into a deep team that sheltered him. I like Pierre-Luc Dubois. I think he's a little overrated.
He's a prima donna, that's for sure, especially his last shift in Columbus.
That was okay. First of all, that last shift in Columbus was
the worst ever.
Was
embarrassing for Columbus.
How much of baseball fans are you guys?
Huge.
Remember Derek Bell?
Oh.
That can stop right there because we know exactly where that's going.
Operation Shutdown.
Oof, dude!
Wow, he went there.
It's frustrating.
What that was.
Like,
dang,
the whole thing is frustrating. You know, you have PLD, who's our number 1 center, and we trade him away, and we get Patrick Laine, and then Laine has the talent. He's had an off year because he's going to a completely different system that is controlled by Torts. People don't want to sit there and look at the reality. And I keep seeing guys that want to defend Torts to the end of time. Don't get me wrong.
I don't know why, though.
I love Torts. I am so happy for what he's done for this team. He's changed things around, brought in guys. He got a good group of leadership in there.
Sometimes you just need a different voice, man.
Eventually, the time comes.
I mean, hey, look at the Hawks. Look at the Hawks. We had Q forever. Had a couple of mediocre seasons where you get dumped out of the playoffs or don't make it. And now he's the head coach of the Florida Panthers, and they're the 2nd seed in the Central ahead of Tampa. Because hockey.
Yeah. I don't know.
He's a cool mistress.
It's one of those things that I'm sure they're going to finish the season off. But, dude, we've lost 8 straight. And it should just be you need to go and let one of the assistant coaches whose all their contracts are also up at the end of the year.
It's basically going to be a fire sale of your guys as coaches at this point. Like, you have to fire. Just get rid of everybody. Your power play's trash. Your penalty kill is not even there.
Bradshaw needs to stay. He's our defensive coach. He needs to stay.
Okay, look, he's the only one then. But you have to feel bad for Merzlikins because that dude.
That press conference broke my heart, man.
He poured his heart out, man.
I felt so bad for that.
You don't see guys that do that. It's he poured his heart out in a fucking conference. But all that does is tell me this man. You need to build a team around him.
Yes.
Not Corpy. I love Corpy. Don't get me wrong.
Merzlikins is your goalie of the future. Hands down. That's
it. He has to be.
You have to keep him.
But that kind of press conference also tells me that the light has left the eyes of that room, if you follow me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like they're ready to pack the season up and just Merzlikins even said too. I'm ready for this year to end, delete it, and move on.
I think his exact words were, "I'm ready to delete this year."
Yeah, like that tells you how telling that is for the fact that the season's not even done yet. You have like 2 weeks left, and these guys are like, "Let's just end this now, please, and let's just move on to 21."
It really is a shame. It really is a shame too.
It's super frustrating to know that we had the guys that we could have made this, and
you have like everyone was. We both picked them 2nd or at least 3rd. Like everyone was picking Columbus to make it because no one saw. We've said this multiple times. No one saw Florida doing what they're doing now. No one saw this happen.
Florida has been the odd team in the Central. No, because everyone expected them to be like 7th or something, and then they come out swinging and they're beating the crap out of everybody.
Zito had one of those rare off seasons for a general manager where every move he made was the right one.
Yeah, because they get Hornquist and they get just pretty much everyone, and then it's like, all right, now it's just going to work. But then still, you would still think Columbus could fight for a 4 spot because no one saw Nashville doing anything because their power play before they got their hot streak was trash.
That's the one thing.
Dallas hasn't done anything. Everyone's saying Dallas is good. Dallas did absolutely nothing. You still think, oh, the Jackets can go for the 4 seed because Chicago is supposed to suck. We're there, but still though.
That's the one thing with Barry's with Barry Zito. Oh my God!
Try again.
Bill Zito's. He was the assistant GM under Yarmo. You're literally learning under the freaking GM Jesus right now, and you leave. And he was the reason that not specifically the reason, but he was a big reason of why we made some of these amazing trades over the last handful of years. And he goes to be the GM of the Panthers. And now he doesn't have his hands tied. He can do what he wants. And all of a sudden, now how they're doing, they're going to let him do even more of what he wants. They're going to have even less restrictions on him because look at what he's done. He brings in Alexander Wennberg after he gets bought out by the Blue Jackets, gets Marcus Nudavara for literally.
Did Wennberg get torched?
I think it was probably a combination of that, but I think a lot of it was a confidence thing because he had the skill and he just, I don't know. Honestly, he had that one really good season, but at the same time, I think we way overpaid for him. After one good season, that's it. We overpaid for him by like $3 million a year. Yeah. So it's one of those things. I think I like Torts a lot. Don't get me wrong, but man, I'm telling you what, he needs to go.
I gotta know though. I really gotta know. Outside of just saying Torts and just being done with it, can you really dig deeper into what is wrong?
We're not a physical team.
Okay.
You know, they can be sometimes. And when I say sometimes, now it's literally any game against Tampa Bay.
They remember 2018.
But it's one of those things.
2019, excuse me.
You look at the advanced statistics for the Blue Jackets. We are amazing when we are very physical. When we're not, we might as well just hand them the win automatically. You know, that is a huge reason why we beat Tampa in that playoff series, is because we were more physical than them and we shut them down. But,
I can't imagine. Well, I'm guessing there's a lot of factors here. There's the Torts situation where, you know, brick by brick he is dismantling the room. There's the situation where you guys aren't that physical. There's a situation where, you know, Torts is still using archaic 1980s bench this dude, bench this dude, scratch this dude. And that's going to give bad messages to the room. But like, you guys have good players. You guys do have good players. Like,
it's frustrating.
I love Oliver Bjorkstrand, for example. Like,
I think the biggest thing for me is it's frustrating to see Torts is acting like he's a babysitter. You know, oh, well, this guy did bad and I'm going to sit him for games now. Now, as we talked about earlier, in his defense, Max Domi was a dumbass against the Blackhawks. In the following game, you know, throwing down a 14 and 12 penalty minutes on himself, essentially. Yes, he deserved to be benched that one game. Doing it again because Torts is like, oh, well, they played good. Really? We lost, dude.
Right.
And we're not doing anything. Why are you making these guys sit? Max Domi is a good player and he should be with us for a while. But the problem is, you know, now Jarmo and company have to play it very tenderly over the next year because Max Domi is an unrestricted free agent after next season.
Right.
He could easily just say, all right, guys, pound sand. You treated me like shit. I'm leaving. And same thing with Seth Jones and both goalies and Boone Jenner. All these guys could just walk. And that's why there's a lot, but Jarmo has to have the golden touch to do things properly and do it the right way this offseason, just because there's so much that could go wrong over the next year or so.
How much does he have to actually fix in this room right now?
In the room, from a leadership standpoint, not much. I'd say maybe get one more veteran guy. Like, for example, a David Krejci type player. Not him specifically, but a guy like him. We need that early to mid 30s veteran guy. We thought we had that with Mikko Koivu, but unfortunately he retired early in the year, which it sucked, but whatever.
It almost sounded like he just fucked off.
It's one of those things. Like, I think that we need obviously we need a number one center. That's absolutely 100% our main priority. We need a center. We have all these guys that are playing center. Boone Jenner, natural winger, playing center. Before, Riley Nash was playing center. He's a natural winger. Nick Foligno, natural winger. playing center. Jack Roslovic, natural winger, playing center. The only one who's a natural center who has played center before in a professional setting was Max Domi. So what do?
And he was foisted into that by the Canadians.
Yeah. And he was sitting there thrown in, like, because he played center with the London Knights and the Coyotes, and then he goes to the Canadians, gets thrown at wing because they have enough centers. They're like, well, crap. So then he comes over to the Blue Jackets in the Max Domi, Josh Anderson trade, and they're like, all right, well, you know what? We're going to have him at center. No, you don't, because now you're playing for 2 games, and he doesn't do great because now it's a completely different system. And then, okay, well, he sucks, so we're going to put him back at wing. No, dude, you have to let these guys develop. We're not letting anybody develop at all. We're playing these guys. Liam Foudy was a first-round pick, 19th overall, I think. And what are we doing with him? You play him a couple.
What are you doing with him?
He's sitting in Cleveland, playing on the AHL team. Right now, that's when these guys need to be playing. Honestly, bench Cam Atkinson, bench Seth Jones. I'm not saying from a fact that they're bad, but let these young kids play, get the experience. We're not making the playoffs. So what's it going to hurt? Our playoff chances? It's one of those things I don't understand, but Jarmo really has to play this delicately over the next 4 months to determine who the next coach is going to be, who the next assistant coaches are going to be, or if we're going to bring anybody back, who the next captain is going to be.
Y'all definitely have the right guy for the job.
But I agree. I absolutely agree. So it's, like we talked about a little bit earlier, the 2 big names for coaching I've seen are Jukka Jalonen, who is the men's Finland head coach, and then Ricard
Hockey
Granborg.
Gandalf.
Exactly. And then Ricard Granborg, who's the Swedish men's national head coach. You have 2 damn good candidates right there. Bring him in. I hear people, oh, well, Bruce Boudreau, Mike Babcock. No.
Oh,
sorry.
Do not hire Mike Babcock.
Sorry.
I feel bad for those kids. I don't want to
piss off my young kids even more. And then I also don't want to be in first place and then never advance in the playoffs ever again, because Boudreau has a lot of success in the regular season, but 0 success in the playoffs. Sorry. I don't really want to deal with that.
I feel bad for those kids in Saskatchewan that they have to deal with Babcock. Like, why?
I agree.
Why?
I don't know. There's a decent amount of stuff that needs addressed in Columbus. Past the coaches, I think the biggest thing is a center and the next captain, who, my opinion, needs to be Seth Jones, but we need to sign him to a contract. I think it needs to be at least a 4-year contract.
Not Werenski?
Nope.
Okay.
Honestly, I see Werenski being traded this summer. And I'm not saying that because of performance or anything like that. But if we're going to be making a run at a number 1 center, we're going to have to give up guys. For example, if we were to go for sake of conversation, Jack Eichel, we can't give him Eric Robinson and freaking Dean Kukin and an AHL guy. No, it's going to have to be a Zach Werenski goes.
Why? It worked for us.
Like it's one of those things that, especially taking into consideration what happens with the draft. If we were to get in at first overall and we get this defenseman from Michigan, Werenski could be expendable in a trade. And that could be a huge piece to get another big name back. And Buffalo's a team that needs defense. That's the thing.
No.
Now, there's a lot of other teams, but just, for that, he could easily be a big name, a big piece, a part of a package to go somewhere.
No.
But I don't know. Honestly, we'll see. We'll see what'll happen with that. But so, Andrew, I know you got to head off here soon. You got any other questions about the Blue Jackets before we let you go?
Not really. You answered a lot of them. That was very informative. And I'm glad you went deeper into it, other than Torts Sucks, Fire Torts, which is a platform that I believe in. But I need more of the issues, and you covered them very well. So thanks. Thank you.
Well, Zach and I are going to keep talking a little bit, but real quick, Andrew, appreciate you coming on, hanging out with us. We'll definitely have you on again soon.
Thanks for having me, man. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. Bruins lost to the Sabres.
We almost made the comeback, but
hey, Alex, at least their team's still in the hunt for the playoffs. So
as the almighty Jesus Vin Diesel once said, I don't care. Shut up.
And on that note, boys, I bid you good night and have a great rest of the show.
Andrew,
have a good weekend, man.
Yep, you too.
All right.
So,
yeah.
While we're still on our Blue Jackets.
Well, your Blue Jackets.
Our Blue Jackets. You're a co-host, Zachary. You're a co-host, so you essentially have to own up to being a partial fan.
I follow them just for news for the show.
Now, before we get moving on to the Blackhawks segment.
Oh, is this where you're going to tell me how dare I make that claim, that take?
No. Well,
you're not going to tell me off about that? Okay. That's good.
First off, I hate you. No, but before we move into Blackhawks segment, I have to finally admit defeat. The Blue Jackets are no longer in contention for the playoffs this year. Okay?
That's rough.
I now have 4 teams, one in each division, that I will be rooting for, and then my number 1 team.
Sorry, quick point, not to add insult to injury, but you guys have 1 more point than the Ottawa Senators do.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that.
You're not as bad as Buffalo.
I'm in full tank mode. Honestly, I don't care. We're going to get a top couple pick, so at this point, I'm fine.
I mean, you're 3 points ahead of Anaheim. Like
that's. I appreciate it. I mean, if you want to end the podcast early, that's fine.
I mean, I don't think you're gonna get as bad as Buffalo's 33, but you could easily get top 3.
With how Buffalo played tonight, well, I don't know. We could be at the bottom of the league. We'll see.
Could you imagine you guys going from like, oh, we're gonna fight for the 4th playoff seed to we're gonna be the worst team in the NHL in a span of a month and a half?
Oh well, it's Columbus, baby. I'm still gonna love my Jackets, even though we suck.
I hope Romeo's Pizza still is okay with me getting some pizza when I'm ever in Columbus, or I'll probably get ran out of town.
Yeah. So, anyways,
sorry, Blue Jackets fans. I didn't mean to jinx your team.
Yeah.
I just did give you a hard time, honestly. But
yeah, I know. Don't remind me. But so for the remainder of the 2021 season, I have my 4 teams that I'm going to be rooting for. And then I have my 1 overall team that I want to root for, and I want to win the cup over all of the others. So
I saw Corey made a prediction for your North Division team.
Mm-hmm. And
shout out to Corey Patterson.
I will get to that in a second. So my East Division team, I have the New York Islanders.
I think the Slapshot Sweethearts were wondering who your East team was going to be.
Yep.
And they're going to be disappointed.
Don't care. Not the Bruins, not the Penguins, because both teams, okay? My Central Division team, I have a reason for this, is the Tampa Bay Lightning. And specifically because of David Savard. I love David Savard. He's such an amazing guy.
I feel so betrayed right now. We talk about how much we dislike the Florida team, and then you pick Tampa.
You have to be in a playoff spot. I want Tampa to win. I want David Savard to win a cup. I like him. He's spent his entire career with Columbus. I wish him all the best. My West Division team, very easy for me, is Minnesota Wild. I want to see them do well. And freaking Kaprizov. And then I got Matt Zuccarello. And then Nick Foligno's brother, you got Marcus Foligno. I want them to win a cup. That is my overall team that I want to win the Stanley Cup over everybody else.
Sorry, could you imagine Minnesota winning the Stanley Cup?
That would be crazy.
Like, and then the state of hockey getting a cup, they will lose their minds.
Oh, for sure. And then my North Division team. Corey Patterson was correct. It is the Toronto Maple Leafs. As much as it pains for me to say that, I am a huge Canadiens fan because I love Josh Anderson. I've been a Carey Price fan his entire career. But you cannot beat out Nick Foligno. The man has been our captain. He has been our heart and soul for the duration of his captaincy in Columbus and the time he's been in Columbus. It is so hard for me to root against him, especially the fact that he goes to play for Toronto. He gets to wear the same number as his dad. And in his first freaking press conference, he wears an old school Maple Leafs hat that his dad got out of storage for him just for that press conference. It is so hard to not like the guy and not want to root for him.
Didn't he say like the back of the hat had the CCM logo on it? That's how old it is. Like we're talking like CCM was the sponsor.
Yeah. And it's
to be honest, I was completely shocked. I thought you were going to pick the Canadiens because that's what we talked about on the live stream.
Yeah.
And if anyone's watching the live version, you would see you just saw my reaction. For the audio people, I was shocked. I did not see that coming.
It was hard.
Well,
you make determination, but
you make Clark very happy, so I think he's going to enjoy the fact that you're
it's
rooting for the Maple Leafs.
Well, and there's reasons. So
I know.
People that follow us know that I love collecting jerseys.
Did it come?
I love collecting jerseys.
Did it come?
Did not. I ordered a Nick Foligno jersey from the Toronto Maple Leafs. That's the only Maple Leafs jersey I would want to get. Right. And the fact that he was able to get it with the same number, he was able to wear the same number as his dad when he played for Toronto.
What was it?
71.
71. Okay.
Same number.
Did you get a David Savard jersey too while you were at it, or
no?
You can't pull that trigger.
Right now, dude. If I get a Tampa jersey, still it's going to be Marty St. Louis. And they have to have somebody else.
But you got to get the 04 version of the St. Louis though. You have to.
But I ordered this Foligno jersey. I got it on Fanatics, and I'm not going to get into it. But if you followed any recent events, it is actually stuck at the Indianapolis FedEx facility.
Oh,
and I have no idea when that's going to get here. So, I don't know. It'll get here eventually. I hope.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's and you know what? If Minnesota's knocked out, I'm going to root for Toronto.
Well, since my Blackhawks are still not eliminated yet, I really can't give you my teams yet. Maybe on that episode where my team is somehow eliminated, I will pick my 4 teams.
But it's like I said, it's one of those things that it's so hard for me to root against Nick Foligno. If he didn't go, it would 100% be the Canadiens. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah.
But I cannot root against. He's still my captain. Even though we don't have one, he's still my captain. I love the man to death.
Fair enough.
Now, that's really all I got for our beloved Blue Jackets. So what does that mean, Zach? Where do we need to go now?
I think we need to go to the Chicago Blackhawks.
Ah, that's right.
Who are right now with 7:39 left as of this recording. 7:39 left in their game against the Predators, and we're losing 2-0. I doubt that they're going to pull another comeback out of their hats because I don't think they can do. I don't think they can do that twice. But did you see the highlights of that game, that last game by chance against Nashville?
I unfortunately did not, but I did see at one point you guys were down 4-1. Mm-hmm. I saw that score come across on my phone because I get updates for the Blue Jackets and Blackhawks, and I saw that. Yeah. And the first thing I thought of was Zach has to be pissed. This is hilarious. The Blackhawks are going to lose. And then next thing I know, I actually didn't even see the final that night. I think I went to bed because I'm on vacation right now. So I was probably watching a movie or something. I think I fell asleep. Well, I didn't even notice until the next day. I hopped on Twitter and I see you post from our Cannons and Tomahawks profile that there was a comeback. Like, what on earth is going on? There's no way they won that game. Sure enough, they sure shit did.
In overtime. And shout out to Max from the Squadcast and the RP show for pretty much the most. You kind of wish you didn't tweet this out. He basically tweeted at me, basically calling me out. Fair enough, good guy, like Max. Basically like, hey, how about that score? I think not even 5 minutes after he said that tweet, Hawks scored 2 goals. I'm like, hey, Hawks scored a couple. He goes, it's all right. It's 5-3, 5-4. Or it was like, what was it, 4-2? It was like 4-2. Then it's like, oh, it's 4-3 now. And right after he said that, the Hawks scored again. I'm like, now it's 4-4. and then they go in an overtime. And I'm just like, Max, you beauty. Thank you for just jinxing your own team. It was fantastic. And then Clark jumped in a little bit. And then it was just fantastic. That is just Max jinxed his own team. And I'm all here for it because they give up 3 goals in a span of 5 minutes, not even like 4. It was like under 4 minutes.
Yeah,
they gave up 3 goals. And Brandon Hagel, we need to make celebratory. We need a celebratory bagels T-shirt. Hagel's bagels. We need to make a T-shirt.
Hagel's bagels, baby.
Hagel's bagels. We're putting down the shirt. 4 feathers. Do not steal that because I know you guys probably listen. That's our idea. Unless you want, give us a finder's fee. But we gotta make it
ours. Go away.
Yeah. We need to make we need to find a way to make a Cans and Tomahawks Hagel's Bagels T-shirt because he got that game winner, and it was. If you saw that, I don't know if you watched the highlight, it was a fantastic over the shoulder, basically on the nearest post to him, the close post, over the shoulder of Saros, hits at top shelf. It was just a fantastic goal, and the Hawks did win. Unfortunately, they are losing, and currently right now in the standings, they do have a game in hand on Nashville, but they are 3 points back. And if they lose tonight, which I'm fairly certain might happen because there's about 4:40 left and it's still 2-0, they're going to go 5 points back with, 40? How many games we have in 56?
Mm-hmm.
So like 8 games left after tonight.
It's
they're going to be 5 points back.
It's going to be interesting.
I'll tell you right now, if this game does go to a loss, oh, never mind. It's 3-0. Predators just scored. So safe to say that's pretty much down the drain. And then you're looking at Tampa next to, so they're off for 3 games. And then they're playing Tampa. Then they have a 2-game series against Florida on Thursday and Saturday of next week. And then you got Carolina for 3 straight on May 3rd, 4th, and the 6th. And then you have 2 off days, and you get Dallas Sunday the 9th, and Monday the 10th. Which at that point, it's like you got basically the top 3 teams for the next 2 weeks, and then Dallas.
It's not going to be overly pretty, honestly.
No, it's really not, and I'm not really looking forward to that for the fact that the way they've played it against Nashville, and for the fact that now they're going to play the best teams in the Central Division to finish it off, doesn't really make me feel great.
Yeah, it's, I think like we've talked about it a lot before, the fact that the Blackhawks are where they are and nobody expected them to be. It's kind of something you need to look at with, I don't want to say a blessing, but it's like, be glad that they had the limited success this year that they did that people didn't think they were going to in the first place.
I can say that. I will give credit to how the season has been. Like I predicted we're going to finish 6th. I even said it before because you posted an update on how the roster, how the standings were. I had something going up that day too, but you beat me to it because I was asleep because of work. That I predicted the Hawks to finish 6th, but I thought they were going to finish 6th just because that's where they were going to be at the whole season. I didn't expect them to be in the 4 seed for most of it.
Yeah.
And okay.
There was a portion where you guys were like in 2nd place too.
Yeah. Like we were in 2nd place for a little bit, but then we had the 4 seed by like 8 points over you guys at one point. Then it was like 10 and then like 11 on Dallas and Nashville. Like they were ahead like by double digits. Like, oh, this way we're looking good. We might lock up the 4 seed by the end of March. And then they won 5 games. Nashville got back in it, and now Nashville's about ready to be 5 points ahead. And now they're a point behind Dallas.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was going into this year, we talked about it. I'm looking to see how the young guys are going to do. You know, we get some wins. I just want to see the young guys do good, and they have been. They did a lot better than we thought they were. And I'll take the season as somewhat of a success. We know that we have a good young youth movement coming up that's going to play well for us.
Yeah.
$21 million in cap space going into the offseason because of Seabrook retiring. You got to figure out what you're going to do with Lankinen. You got to, we have a lot of UFAs coming up. Got to re-sign a lot of those guys, and you got to look and see what we're going to do in free agency. I think you're probably maybe a solid top 4 defenseman, maybe some more scoring depth away, maybe 2 or 3 pieces on the offense away from making a run or, making a deep playoff run or do something. I think this team is, I would say at least 2 years. They're 2 years ahead of where they were going to be at.
Oh, absolutely. And
I'm all for it. I'm happy. And like I said, I'll take the season as kind of a success for the fact that we're a lot farther on than we thought we were going to be, and that we're actually just maybe 4 or 5 pieces away instead of half a team away.
Yeah.
From being good.
I think
we found our goalie too. We found our goalie.
Yeah,
I'm happy about that.
That's one thing. That's one thing with the Blackhawks. Initially, prior to the season starting, you thought that the Blackhawks were not going to be good because you lose all the guys. You lose Jonathan Toews for an undisclosed issue at that point in time, and recently I just heard yesterday he will be back for next season. Yeah, so Toews will be back. It's one of those things that
we lost Doc for 3 months. He thought it was going to be 5. We thought we lost him for the whole season.
You think that the season's over essentially, but it's not. You guys have a bright future, and that's the one thing, you need to look at is you guys have a really good future ahead of you because of these young guys. So, you need to play into that and get excited because, you have DeBrincat is
he's found his touch again. Like the dude's been on a stupid run this year. He found his touch. Lights going off behind you. The Blackhawks did score, so it's now 3-1. So,
but it's DeBrincat is the future of the Blackhawks. He is the core of the Blackhawks when Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews are gone. Yeah,
well, don't forget you also have Kirby Dach too. You got Ian Mitchell. Wyatt Kalynuk has been on an absolute tear since we brought him up. Wyatt's been looking good. Ian Mitchell's going to be really good. Khrushchev, Suter, Kubalik. Dylan Strom's kind of found his touch too. Brandon Hagel looks pretty solid. I mean, we have a team that's going to be good. It's just, there's a little bit, maybe added, I would say probably a better backup goalie to Lankinen. I mean, I like Subban, but
there's still a little bit of a learning curve because you have so many young guys too. So that's one of those things that you can't take out of context either is just let these guys develop. And the Blackhawks are going to be good in a couple of years.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we're 2 years ahead of schedule. Do I think we're going to make a run next year? I wouldn't say we could, but I mean, it's possible if the team clicks like they did this year until about March. Then it's possible. Yeah, I would say 2 years. We're 2 years away from maybe making a cup run. Do we have a chance to make the playoffs next year? I could see it depending on what they do in the offseason because we're going to have the cap space. I'm just glad that, like I said, I was going to this year thinking, well, let's see what the young guys can do. It's going to be a development year. And then it turned into, holy crap, we are in a playoff hunt for pretty much the entire season. So
no, it's one of those things that you guys should not be where you are.
Yeah. All. Well, and speaking of Wyatt Kalynuk, he just did score the goal tonight for the Hawks. He scored again. He scored the other night too against Nashville. Kalynuk's been on fire. He's a defenseman. And guess where he played at too in college? Wisconsin.
Oh, shocking.
In Wisconsin. Makes good hockey players. Cole Caulfield. Does that ring any bells?
No. He's not playing since somehow the freaking Canadians can't manage cap space to have him on the team.
Ridiculous. It's Montreal. But like I said, I'm happy.
What did I say? What did I say? What team did I say?
The Canadiens.
I know that is Montreal.
Yeah.
I thought you said that's Montreal. Like I said, a different, completely different team.
Oh no, I'm just saying that's Montreal for you.
Oh, okay.
I was just agreeing with you.
Ignore my stupidity.
Yeah, you've been on vacation. You can turn your brain off. It's fine.
Exactly.
I'm just saying it's just Montreal in general. But like I said, what we talked about with Andrew, we're both realists with our teams.
Yeah.
We're both self-deprecating with our teams too. And I'll tell like it is. I didn't think this team was going to be this good, and they did, and I'm happy. Does it still sting that our power play has gone absolutely stone ice cold? Yeah, it sucks. I talked about this with the girls from Center Ice on Twitter. Our power play, don't even put the other team's penalty kill on the ice, because our power play will penalty kill themselves, because that's basically what they do now. You don't even need another team to penalty kill them. Let the Hawks power play do it.
You ever seen Blue Jackets?
That's
exactly what we do.
You guys will penalty kill each other on a 5-on-5. Like that's just how bad
we'll penalty kill ourselves on a 5-on-0. Okay, it's a little ridiculous.
You guys go on a 5-on-0 with no goalie in that, and you still wouldn't score.
Yeah, I know.
The Jackets couldn't even hit the water if they fell out of a boat.
Mm-hmm.
Any other team? They could hit the broadside of a barn if they were a foot from it.
Pretty much. Pretty much it.
I mean, does it sting to the fact that, like I said, they were in the playoffs? They were in the playoffs for pretty much in the hunt the entire season until March, and they slid out of it and they tried to come back, but it's just 5 points back in Nashville with 8 games left. That's a pretty tough order, because you got to hope Nashville loses games too. Yep. And you also got to leapfrog Dallas, who's a point ahead.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing that you got to deal with.
And then for the fact that we got them in the last 2 games of the season too, where depending how Nashville does, those 2 games against Dallas at home to finish the season could be huge. But at that point, are they even going to be in the hunt for the playoff spot, or are they going to get eliminated when they go play Florida? Yeah. Or is it going to be, how's it going to be after they play Carolina in Carolina? We have a 3-game set in Carolina the first week of May.
You guys
we've played ahead of you. Yeah, we've played them well. We've played Carolina well. We just can't play Florida well, can't play Tampa well. For whatever reason, Dallas has given us somewhat trouble, but Nashville's been on a thorn in our side. We're going to win 1 game against them all year, and it was that comeback the other night. Only game we've beaten them this year, when it was a 5-4 overtime comeback win.
Yeah. We are about the same boat, man. We can't beat in Nashville at all. We just can't. I don't know why. Nashville's a thorn in the side. And the thing for you is, at least you're only doing it for a season. We get them every single year as a central division rival. Well, we had him for a while when we were in the Central. Yeah, with us. Yeah. Yeah, when you were with us. It's frustrating. Like I want to stay optimistic that the Hawks could maybe pull it off, but the way the power play has been and the way the defense has been, like you really can't put any of these losses on the goalies. Subban's whatever. I'm indifferent to Subban. Lankinen, I can't blame Lankinen, and this sucks the fact that he lost his chance for the Calder because the defense absolutely has fallen apart. The power play has gone absolutely just ice cold. We just can't score. It sucks. And now, like I said, Lankinen lost his chance for the Calder. He deserves it. I'm telling you right now, if Lankinen wasn't in net, the Hawks are nowhere near a playoff spot. We're fighting you guys for the 7th spot, if anything else, and Detroit. The 3 of us be fighting for the 6th seed, 6, 7, and 8. Yeah, that's where we'd be at. I mean, we're kind of doing it right now, but not really. But still, it'd be a lot closer than it is. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. It's really frustrating, especially, because I closet root for the Blackhawks, and it's one of those things that I don't want to see them not do well. But man, they got a tough road ahead of them if they're not going to be able to win these games against Nashville or Dallas or Tampa for the 1 game, that random 1 game we have left with them. Then we got Florida for 2,
Carolina in Carolina for 3 than 2 against Dallas.
Yeah.
It stinks, man. And the fact that, like I said, I'm glad. I'm happy where we're at. We're a lot further than we thought we were going to be, but it just stings the fact that we went from we're in the playoff fight. March happens, and then it's just kind of like we play 500 or less hockey the rest of the way, and we're probably looking at not being in the playoffs. So I'm going to take a guess right now. I think by next week's episode, I'm going to be telling you my 4 playoff teams. I think that's what it's going to be like. I think by next show, I better come up with my teams because I would love to see that we're going to do well, but I don't really have a good feeling about it, honestly.
I'm
happy we got better. We're a lot further than I thought we were going to be. When the game did end, 3-1 Preds, so now we're 5 points back. But I'll take from where we're at now. We got a lot better, a lot quicker than we thought. We're maybe a year or 2 ahead of schedule. So I'll take it. It's just I kind of wish if we were going to finish 6, that we played 6 all season and not 4th and 2nd.
Yeah, it's definitely frustrating. That's for sure. I want to see you guys do well, but
I like to see you guys do well too. Because I do like the Jackets. They're an Ohio team, and I like the the crew and all that. So I'm an Ohio State fan. So I want to see the Jackets do well. I give you shtick about the Jackets because it's our show. We give each other crap all the time. Did I want them to finish behind Detroit? No, of course not. I just did that just to give you a hard time. I wasn't putting it out there just to do it, just so that I hope they do. No, I don't want that. So, Jackets fans, don't be mad at me. I don't want
we all hate you, buddy.
It's all right. It's understandable. It's just it is what it is. But
yeah,
hopefully next year we'll have a normal regular season where we have 82 games and it's not this weird every other night game or you have 3 days off because the schedule is weird and everything else. But you know what? We're ahead of schedule. I'll take it. We played well this year. I'm happy that the young guys are doing good. I'm excited. I'm excited for the future. We have a lot of young guys that are going to be good. So, and we have our goalie of the future.
Oh, for sure.
I'll take that.
So kind of a random question here.
Okay.
It's going to be Hawks related. Who do you think, as of right now, will be taken in the expansion draft from Chicago?
Calvin DeHaan. I hate to say it, but
kind of a quick answer.
Yeah. There's no way the Hawks are going to let Murphy go. He's probably one of their good young defense. Well, I won't say he's young, but he's not
younger than DeHaan.
Yeah, he's not a DeHaan or a Duncan Keith, but he's not Ian Mitchell, White Kalynuk young, but
yeah,
he's young enough where you're like you want to keep him around.
Yeah, and looking at it, he's got a lower salary cap hit than Calvin DeHaan does too. So
yeah, exactly. So
it's one of those things.
Yeah, I hate to say it, and I know the Four Feathers guys don't want to hear this from me, but I think if you're looking at a guy that the Kraken might take, it could be DeHaan. They could go for a 4 or 2. I don't know. I don't really know what forward Andrew Shaw maybe, or I don't really know what kind of forward they go after. But if they're going to short maybe a blue line guy, I didn't think it's going to be DeHaan, honestly.
Yeah.
Because there's no way the Hawks are going to let Murphy go. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure.
What about your Jackets? Who do you think it's going to be?
Kevin Stenlund.
You thought my answer was quick.
Well, I actually was looking at this stuff before you and I started recording tonight, and I was actually looking at it, and I think it'll be Kevin Stenlund. Because I think essentially what it's going to come down to is protecting Kevin Stenlund and Eric Robinson. And I think they're going to protect Eric Robinson over Stens. So, and the kid is a big guy and he has a lot of talent. He just needs more time. And I think he could go in and be a solid third line center with the potential to be a top line center. Yeah. So it all depends on who they take. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah. So, but we'll see. It is what it is. But you know what? I'm just happy where the Hawks are at. We're good. They're a lot better than we thought we were going to be in. I'm hoping they make the playoffs, but I'm also kind of 1 foot in the camp of let's keep pushing forward. Let's go get that 4 seed. Where we may have to face Carolina, so be it. But I'm also on the 1 foot in the camp of let's just get the season over with and let's just go for the let's just get ready for 21-22 and get ready for the draft.
I mean, you guys are doing well, and like you said earlier, you can tell your future is bright in Chicago.
Oh yeah.
So it's one of those things that I don't think anybody is going to be upset with how they're doing this year and what has happened.
Oh, for sure. And
you found your goalie. You found the freaking goalie of your future that you need that's going to replace Corey Crawford.
Yeah, for sure. And for the fact too that we have $21 million in cap space now with Seabrook retiring, which stings, but now we got the space to re-sign some guys and go get guys in free agency. So we could almost expedite this a little bit faster than we thought because we all thought we still got Seabrook for another 3 years. Now we don't. Now you're looking at an even faster growth in the team. So it all really depends. So
it's crazy. Looking at you guys' cap situation, you only have one, well, I guess 2, but one big, in quotations, unrestricted free agent, and that's Vinny Hinostroza.
Yeah. And
other
Vinny,
than that, you have 6 restricted free agents that you have to worry about, and that's it. You have Alex Nylander and Zach Smith, but
I'm not a fan. I mean, I think Alex is a good kid, but Nylander, that's just not worked out at all. Like, he has not found his game ever since he came to Chicago, and I still think that trade was an absolute bust. We should not have traded Okiari. That just made no sense. And it still doesn't make sense, and it is what it is. I'm hoping the Hawks keep Vinny Hinostroza because he did absolutely. I felt bad for him in Arizona. He comes to Chicago and he's been just dropping apples all over the place. Like, he could open up an orchard with how many apples he's had this year, just coming back to the Hawks. Absolute wild. Like, he had 3 assists the other night. 3. That's just the dude has found his game, and it's back in Chicago where he was good before. So
I don't know.
Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it is, but I think that I'm excited for what we have in the future for sure.
Absolutely, man.
All right, well, that will wrap up our Hawks and Jackets segment of the Cannons and Tomahawks podcast. This has been a fun night. We had Andrew on from Short Shift earlier on tonight to talk about Bruins and a whole bunch of other stuff. It's good talking hockey, man. It's Friday night, doing what we usually do, just coming on here and just talking hockey for 2 to how many hours it is. But this has been fun, man. Right but on. But if you want to catch us on social media, it's Cannon Hawks Pod on Twitter, Cannons and Tomahawks Podcast on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Click our link tree in our link area on Twitter. You can go find all of our sponsors at Pure Hockey, Spy Optic, Romeo's Pizza of Columbus. Go check them out, and then also make sure to check out Belly Up Sports for all the articles and all the other podcasts that are out there. A lot of good ones, hockey, basketball, football, baseball, all the good stuff. We have a lot of good stuff. You can find me at CLE Zach, and you can find Alex over at _CBJ. But before we go, Alex, what are we all about here at the Cannons and Tomahawks podcast?
We are all about beer, food, and hockey.
See you guys later.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Cannons and Tomahawks podcast, presented by Belly Up Sports. Beer, food, and hockey.